What you can see here is just a flat bag of chips, but now I'm going to hit the spacebar and boom, it inflates, and I've actually got a simulating bag of chips here that is puffing up, as you can see. So how do we actually make this simulation in Blender? Well, I'm going to show you. It's really simple, and then we'll quickly slap a texture that we get off the internet on here. This is super fun if you just want to mess around with it. If you don't want to make a bag of chips, use this exact same technique and make yourself some pillows. I just think if you're a beginner, you're really going to love this simple little quick and friendly tutorial. So let's jump into it and make this simulated bag of chips in Blender 4.3. Jump into a new scene in Blender and go ahead and just select all of the default objects and press delete. Then just go ahead and press Shift A. Go to your mesh options, add in a plane. And then what you're going to do, you're going to go into your front orthographic view. With your plane still selected, just tab into edit mode. And all of it should be active. So you're going to go RX90 and hit enter. The reason we rotated it in edit mode is so we don't have to apply the rotation every time. So now that we've rotated it in edit mode, we're just going to go S, Z, and let's just roughly scale it up to what a pack of chips would be like. I mean, you don't have to do this perfectly. Just roughly eyeing it should be fine. Something like this, and then click. And then go Control R. You should see a yellow line appear, and then roll your middle mouse button, and just randomly roll it until you have quite a lot of these edges, about this many, and then just double click to add them in. And now what you need to do is just come in here in the middle, Control R, and now you should see in the middle a line going this way, and then just roll your middle mouse button and keep rolling until you see a whole bunch of little squares. And then just double click. So what we have here is now just these tiny little squares. If they're too rectangular, just undo this and then try again. We just want rough little squares. Okay, with that done, you're just gonna press A to select everything. And then you're gonna go E and just slightly extrude it, very, very slightly, to give it some thickness. Then press A to select everything. And then go Alt N and just go recalculate outside. Just to make sure any normals are facing outside. Otherwise this cloth simulation won't work properly. Okay, so now is a really cool bit. So we're gonna go to our object data properties. And then let's go to our X-ray view. And let's just click and drag and just select 3 of the top rows of verts. And then holding in Shift, select 3 of the bottom row of verts like this. And then just go over to your vertex group here and click plus. And then click on Assign and then double click here and just call this Pin. So now we know those are the ones we don't want to move during the simulation. Everything else will fold. So make sure that it's assigned. Tab back out and let's turn off the X-ray here. Then go over to your physics, give it a cloth. Let's go down to the pressure. And then let's go down, once you've enabled the pressure here, go to the shape, go to the pin group and then change it to pin. And what you're going to want to do is come here to the pressure, under the pressure here, and let's give that something like 2.3 in the pressure. And then come down here to the shrinking factor under the shape, and let's make it minus 0.08. Okay, and then make sure you come to frame 1 and then hit the space bar and boom. Now you have a bag of chips. So you can just hit pause whenever you like it. If you don't want the sagging to happen, which you might want that if it's full of chips, but let's just say you don't want it to sag as much, you could always come down here to your field weights and then just turn gravity off or just down a lot, but I'm going to turn it off to 0. Just go back to frame 1 and I'm going to hit the spacebar again. And now you can see it's a lot more even. So I'm going to go something like that. And then I'm going to pause. I'll just right click and go shade smooth. And then I'm going to come to my modifiers, add modifier, search, and I'll type in sub, give it a subdivision surface. And there we have it, a bag of chips or a pillow, whatever you want. I'm just going to select it and I'm going to go to my physics. I think under the shape, I'd like to take the shrinking factor down to minus 0.15. And then I'm going to go back to frame 1 and I'll hit the spacebar again. Might just want a little bit more shrinkage. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to pause and when I get something that I like. So now we have our cloth simulation working. We've got a bag of chips. So now let's just head over to the internet. And this is the fun bit. Just type in here chip bag front and side. Okay, and you're going to get a lot of results. When you find one that you like, just go ahead and click on it. And you could just right click and go save image as. I'm going to save this to my desktop as a JPEG. I'll just call it front and side. And now it's saved to my desktop as a JPEG. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on the bag of chips. I'm going to go to my materials, click new. I'm just going to call it chip bag. And I'm going to come here to the base color. Click on it. I'm going to change it to image texture. I'm going to click on open, and then I'm going to go to my desktop where I saved that front and side JPEG. I'm going to click open image. And now I'm just going to go into my UV editing. I'm going to go into my front view. I'm going to press A to select everything, and I'm going to go U. I'm going to go to project from view. And then I'm going to select everything over here. I'm just going to go S to scale that up. G to move it over, and as much as possible, I'm just going to try and get it on the front here. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to deselect everything here, and I selected it from the front. Now I'm going to go Control and 1 on my number pad just to go into the back orthographic view. So now I'm looking from the back, and I'm just going to click and drag and just select only the back faces. And then in the back view, I'm also going to go U, and I'm going to go project from view. And then I'm just going to take this one, scale it up, and move it over to the back image over here. There we go. And now I'm going to come over here back to my layout. I'm going to press Z and go to material preview. And then I'm going to go back to frame 1. I'm going to hit the space bar. And there you have it. Okay, so there is a bag of chips that is now simulating. If you wanted to, you could always go into edit mode and just kind of add a material to these top bits where we pinned. Maybe make it like a darker kind of yellow and just assign it. And I might do the same at the bottom. This is optional, but I think that just kind of looks a little bit better. So if we go to viewport render, there you go. You can kind of see that works. But yeah, there you have it. A bag of chips in Blender. I guess I'll see you guys next time for another tutorial, and thank you for watching.